I know that this is a show, and I know that's not going to be on the level of the movies. But I was hoping it would be at least good. Well, I guess that's just my fault. Now I understand why it took me so long to actually watch this one, because it is so damn boring. Like, so boring. I couldn't believe how boring it was as I was watching it. Like, I was actively struggling not to fall asleep on multiple occasions. And you'd think, it's a show about Winston and how he took over the Continental. You'd think that'd be a really cool idea for a show. But no, they screw it up by adding a bunch of other pointless, dumb shit that doesn't need to be there. So, yeah, unfortunately, we have come to the first thing that I've seen John Wick related that I think is outright bad. And it sucks because it had potential, and they just did nothing with it. So, this is going to be a pretty brief review because I want to spend as least amount of time on this as possible. So, welcome back to Animation Station, welcome back to June-Wick. Welcome to my review of the spin-off prequel show to John Wick called The Continental. This is supposedly supposed to be a show about how Winston overtook the Continental and how he came into owning this Continental that he literally lays his life on the line for on numerous occasions in the movies. Well, if only that was all they told here. On top of that, you have his relationship with his brother. That's fine. His brother's wife hating him for a grand majority of it. Whatever. But then you have this extra stupid freaking plot line about these two characters, this brother and sister, and this dojo that was handed down to the sister by the old man, as in their dad. And I can tell you right now, I did not give a single shit about this storyline at all throughout the entire show. They tried to give it some kind of emotional pathos and some kind of build-up, but honestly, every time it popped up, I felt nothing. The characters aren't that bad, they're fine, but I just did not care about the story they were trying to tell with that plot line at all. And then, on top of that, you somehow have to make this tie into the High Table, and a bunch of other random crap. This show is just a convoluted mess, because it tries to do way too much at one time when ultimately only one plotline matters. Winston and his ascension to taking over the Continental. I like the stuff about his brother and how he connects with his brother and how he is driven to take the Continental by what happens to his brother around the second episode, I believe. I don't know. I literally just watched it and I'm already forgetting things. That should tell you everything you need to know. That part is fine. Heck, I even really like the little bit of Sharon we get in this show, of how he ended up becoming how he is and how he became loyal to Winston, which would then carry over into the movies. Both those parts are perfectly fine. They live up to what I wanted. Those parts are by far the best parts of the show. And it does still have some good action. You still get some really cool gore. There are good things in here, it's just buried under a mountain of crap that is completely unnecessary. So, without further ado or delay, here's my written review. I hope you enjoy. Just don't watch the show. Watch this review and avoid this. It's not worth your time. I'm not gonna lie, if I wasn't doing a John Wick marathon, I probably would have just skipped this one altogether. It's not that it looked terrible or anything, but more so because it had cash grab written all over it. From only being 3 episodes, to being connected to the John Wick franchise, to being exclusive to Peacock of all places, it just had all the red flags. And now that I've finally seen it, unfortunately, I was proven right. I was proven right like halfway through the second episode. The Continental is a slow, convoluted, meandering, tedious, and painfully below average, mediocre watch. The acting is great, like all the actors are putting in really good performances, they are trying. The gore is decent, it does have that hyper-violence that you want from June-Wick. The Winston and Sharon parts of the story are fascinating and mostly well done. Like I said, those are by far the best parts of the show, and should have been what the entire show was about in the first place instead of all this other crap. And the ending is genuinely shocking. The last thing that Winston does as he takes over the Continental is actually a really cool moment that made me respect his character a little more. It made me respect his character a little more for having the balls to do what he does. But all the other characters besides Jean all suck. Like I said, the acting is not bad. It's just that the characters they're given to work with are so flat and formulaic that you've seen them in 1,000 other shows. All the other storylines they try to interconnect with Winston and Sharon's story are boring. Like I said, I don't care about the Karate Dojo. I don't care about this weird jaded detective thing that also goes into an affair with her boss. I don't care about the whole Charlie thing. I don't care about these twins. I just don't care. The main antagonist is terrible, which, considering he's played by Mel Gibson, is unacceptable. This is Mel Gibson, and he is trying. Problem is, he's not given crap to work with because the writing in this show is terrible. Pacing is way too slow. I swear, it's faster to take a shit than it is to watch this show. Runtime at over an hour per episode is beyond obnoxious, especially when so much of it is pointless filler and a bunch of storylines that amount to absolutely freaking nothing. Like, the max I will give you for an episode length is 45 to 50 minutes. Any longer than that, and I tap out. But I stuck through it for this show, just hoping and praying to find something of value underneath all this unnecessary dumb shit. But yeah, if you have a show where your episodes are longer than 45 to 50 minutes, I have no interest in you. Sorry, that's just way too damn long. Especially this, the series finale of this in particular, which is an hour and 37 minutes. Good Lord. Rewatchability is 0. I'm not rewatching this ever again. Because as much as I like the Winston Sharon parts, everything else is so boring, I just don't want to sit through it again. And despite its throwback setting, taking place in, I believe, the 60s or the 70s, something like that, it just feels so lifeless and stale the entire time, with none of that June-Wick style whatsoever. Like, if it weren't for the name, I wouldn't even know that this was a June-Wick show. That's how lacking of style and stale and devoid of character this show feels the entire way through. Yeah, hate to say it because the actors really did try here. They did try. The actors in the show really did try. But this show is ultimately a huge waste of time, and I am pissed off from the 4 to 5 hours I wasted on this snoozer. It is by far the worst thing that I have seen from the June-Wick franchise, and I'm never touching it again with a 10-foot pole. Seriously, this show is so boring. Like, you think, oh, it's only 3 episodes, it can't be that bad. No, it is bad, because they stuff those 3 episodes with an hour-plus runtime of so much pointless filler that doesn't amount to a freaking thing. Like, you want to know how boring this show is? Like, they have this one planned out death for one of these villain characters of getting blown to fucking smithereens. And when it happened, I felt nothing. Yeah, if you can show gore like that on screen and I feel nothing, you have failed at everything that you set out to do. I'm done. Skip this crap. It is not worth your time. Final verdict is a 3 out of 10. Terrible show. It's terrible, it's boring, it's slow, and I would never recommend it. No matter how die-hard of a John Wick fan you are, it is not worth wasting 4 to 5 hours of your life sitting through this slow, meandering, tedious bullshit. Just watch like a recap video on the internet. I'm sure there's one out there. Because it will be far easier to understand than this convoluted, overly long mess. Ballerina, please be better. I'll see you next time for that review. Bye.